Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Adam here, and today we're going to be doing a video of the CorePhone Master Edition, and this is going to be my full review of my own phone, which is kind of interesting. This is going to try to be as non-biased as possible. This is going to be my own review, and so hopefully you guys like this, and let's get started with this video. Alright, so first let's talk about the design. On the sides, we got aluminum, which is really nice. It feels kind of similar to the OnePlus 7 Pro that I'm actually recording with right now, in my opinion. I mean, it's a little bit different, I would say, but it's mostly the same. And also, on the back, you got this very nice back right here. It's made out of plastic, but it does look, in my opinion, pretty nice. I mean, I guess it's a little bit reflective, but overall, this does look pretty nice. I mean, going into sunlight here, this is kind of what it looks like. As you can see, it kind of has a reflective glow. Now, even though I'm trying not to be biased, what I would say is that it does attract fingerprints, as you can see a little bit, but overall it does look really nice, and I would say much better feeling than most plastic phones. Like, most plastic phones do not feel that good. But this one does. Then we also got a fingerprint scanner, and we got our dual cameras right there, and we also got our LED flash. We also got USB-C, which I did show you the bottom, but I didn't tell you. And we got our speaker right there. We've also got our power button and our volume button, but overall this does look, I mean, really nice in my opinion. So let's get into the phone. And as you can see, this is what it looks like at full brightness. Now, in my opinion, this looks really good for an IPS LCD screen. It's 1080p, so Full HD plus. And overall, I'm really impressed with actually the viewing angles the most. I think the viewing angles do look very good. And let's actually go into sunlight right now. See how good it looks. Now, as you can see, it does actually get pretty bright. As you can see, actually not terrible. Pretty good. I would say it's about 500 nits, maybe. Yeah, I would say about 500 nits. And as you can see, for the notch, we're going with a teardrop notch. So, yeah, as you can see, it does look pretty nice. Bezels are pretty slim for like a, $200 phone, in my opinion. So, yeah, overall, I would say that the colors are very vibrant. It looks really nice, and you won't be disappointed with the screen. It is a 7.12-inch screen, so it is really big. Even for, like, my hands, it looks huge, as you could see. So, yeah. And then on the sides, we got very slim bezels, which I was kind of telling you about, but, yeah. And just looking at just the UI itself, it is very stock Android, but it is running actually Core UI, and basically we just added some Go apps. So we added Gallery Go, Maps Go, Google Go, things like that, just to make it more feel faster. Speaking of performance and stuff like that, this is using the Helio P25, and daily performance actually feels extremely smooth, like really impressively smooth. Going through the app drawer, it feels very smooth. Opening up, these kind of apps, it's very smooth. There's no it feels very responsive. The only thing is that we are on Android 9.0. So that may be, deal breaker for you, but I'm pretty sure for most people it wouldn't be that big of a problem, and we are trying to work on an Android 10 update very soon. Yeah. So, this has 4 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes of storage, which is totally fine for, like, most things. And gaming performance is really good on here. I would say it's actually just about as good as, like, a Helio G80 or something like that, or a G85, even though it is using the Helio P25. It's very close to performance, even though some people say, it's not as good. Actually ran a Geekbench test, and let's see if I could show you the results here. Okay. So this was the one that I got. And as you can see, it is actually pretty good. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like flagship level, but it is very good. And it is 8-core processor. And 4 cores at 1.69 gigahertz and 4 cores at 2.39 gigahertz. And as you can see, 4 gigabytes of RAM. So overall, performance is actually really good in real life. So yeah, really impressive stuff. And now let's talk about the cameras. So the cameras are really good, in my opinion. I'm going to show you actually some example photos that I took. This is one of the pictures that I took. I think it was like yesterday or the day before. As you can see, there's a really good amount of detail. Just kind of zooming in here. There's a good amount of detail. Colors look pretty good. Dynamic range, I would even admit myself, isn't the best, but still pretty good. Here's actually one of my favorite photos that I actually took with this phone. And it's just a picture of a leaf. There's a really good amount of detail. I kind of edited this photo though, so that is something to keep in mind. I edited this photo to look more saturated. Most people don't like saturated colors, but personally for me, I edited it so it has more saturated colors. But yeah. And here's one last photo that I took. Just an example photo. As you can see, it does look very good. It's in focus and everything like that. And this is while it was like moving and everything like that. So overall, it looks very good. Colors are really good. And detail is pretty good. This is a 13 megapixel main camera. So yeah, pretty impressive there. So now let's talk about the selfie camera. You've got a 5 megapixel selfie camera, and it does look, I mean, you can see it's in that notch right there. And pictures do look pretty good. I didn't take any example shots, but it does look really good. I wouldn't say as good as, the main camera or anything like that, but overall it does look really nice. Now let's finally talk about battery. The battery on here is really good. Now, I don't have any battery optimization things except when you're on low battery. So it does slip down a bit, that I noticed, like once, you fully charge it and then it starts to go down a little bit. But once you're at like 70%, then it starts to go down very slowly. This is a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, so you should expect really good battery life on here. I've tried it to use for a whole day, and I have gotten through it in actually a day and a half, about 7 hours of screen on time, which in my opinion is really good. I wouldn't say it's like the best, but it's very close to the best. I mean, I know there's like rugged phones that could maybe have 8,000 milliamp hour batteries, but overall it does look, it is really good. So yeah, overall you're getting a really nice package here. Comparing to other competitors at this price point, there isn't really any competitors in terms of the size of the screen and things like that. I guess there are some phones that you could consider that are different, like maybe the Samsung Galaxy A21, which is going around $199. You might be able to find it cheaper, but it might be, in bad condition or something like that. But this is in good condition. And that is actually a little bit worse, though. It has a smaller screen, has 720p screen, so it's a lot worse. Now it does have a punch hole, but some people just prefer a notch, and it's only 720p, so it really doesn't look that good. I have tried it out in a store, and yeah, in my opinion, it doesn't look that good. I guess you have more cameras with that, but most of the cameras are just macro and depth cameras, so honestly, not that good. And then, some other competitors, I guess there's, what else is there? With this big of a screen and it's 1080p, there's not too many phones with a 1080p screen. I know, you can maybe get 720p at 90, hertz. I believe there's the Oppo A53. The Poco X3 NFC is a little bit above this, about $250, $260 that you can find it. I know the start price was $199, but that was only for a couple of days. That was like, trying to get the first sales, but in reality, it's actually like $249, $259, and I would recommend that if you have that budget. But if you really want a solid phone with a solid screen, solid performance, USB Type-C, and overall just really great experience, good camera, aluminum frame, that is one thing to keep in mind. Most phones at this price point do not have an aluminum frame. Just overall really nice build quality. Then you should definitely get this phone. You should definitely consider this phone. I am going to be doing a sale with all my subscribers. You can get $10 off for $199. And I'm not trying to be biased or anything like that, because I know this is my own phone, but to be honest, I gotta admit myself, this is a really great phone for the price point. I mean, sure, you can maybe get the Poco X3 NFC, but if you have, $199, or if you're a subscriber, or if you have if you have $209, which is the regular price point, then you should totally get this phone. I mean, it's stock Android. That's another thing. Lots of other phones do not have like a stock experience, and even though it is Android 9, I would much prefer Android 9 and a stock experience than Android 10 and a largely messy kind of interface. I know that there was the Infinix Note 8, but that has a ton of bloatware. There was even some controversy where it's like trying to take some of your data. I mean, it's not good if you have, Android 10. I mean, it's good that you have Android 10, but if you have like bad software, I would personally prefer, Android 9 and not as good, and better software, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Your opinion could be different, but that's just how I see it. And overall, this smartphone is an overall really great package. I mean, yeah, the bezels aren't the thinnest, and, there's not like 4 cameras, I guess, but this is honestly a really awesome smartphone. But if you have a really good smartphone, then, you could keep it if you want. But if you are, if you're tired of your smartphone being so slow, sluggish, and not having great performance, I mean, this is going to get you through the day easily. I mean, there has been no slowdowns whatsoever that I've seen personally. And just overall, it's a really great experience. I keep saying that. And I'm not trying to be like, I'm not trying to say that other smartphones are bad at this price point. I'm just saying that you should definitely consider this phone. Like, if you had a list of your $200 smartphones, this should be like one of your phones that you should totally consider. And I mean, there's some other, I'm going on with this, but there's some other things too that you may be interested in with this phone. I mean, that I haven't talked about. There is this thing that is on the CorePhone Master Edition called DuraSpeed, and this may be on a couple of other phones, but not too many. It basically boosts foreground apps by restricting background apps. So maybe actually really good if you're gaming and, maybe you see some slower performance than you expected, then you just turn this on and you'll probably have completely fine performance. And overall, this supports most bands. This supports most of the bands in Europe, especially. But it does support a lot of US main bands like Band 5 and stuff like that. But I believe this does support Band 40. I didn't see exactly all the bands, but there is so many bands. This could be used probably in China, Asia, even though China is in Asia, but the USA. Basically, can be used internationally. So if there's any concerns with that too, there's also, I will maybe offer customer service if you do buy this. I am considering, maybe making some sort of other, phone line so you guys can call and ask for some sort of customer support. So yeah, there's so many great things with this smartphone that I've mentioned, and this is going on for such a long time, 14 minutes. But I just wanted to show how great this phone is. And if you want more, if you have any other questions, then I'll totally answer them about this smartphone, because this is a really great smartphone in my opinion. Now, once again, I'm a little bit biased because it's my own smartphone, but seriously, this is a great smartphone. I'm pretty sure anyone would say that this is a pretty great smartphone at $200. If you don't, that's fine. I mean, you could just say it isn't, but in my opinion, it's really good. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Sorry about the video going on for a pretty long time. I've said that about 5 times, but yeah. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys later.